I've been around here. So, this is actually a story of a police officer that does his thing. And, a police officer that actually does his thing rightly according to his job description will have a lot of, you know, people against him that don't actually like the way he actually does his thing, the way he does it, because he's actually an hindrance to them. So, starting from the beginning of this story, there's a family where they have a young boy that was actually, entering one problem or the other, and is always, entering problems, and father actually complains about everything every now and then, and it grew up, it became, the outside life that he wanted for himself, caused a lot of problems, like he always do, and boom, he started encountering police officers because they can't actually just watch him do the thing he actually does like that and disturb the community without them taking necessary steps. So they did, and boom, that actually brought problem upon this diligent police officer that doesn't want the community to be unrest. Now, for the fact that the police officer became the hindrance, they decided to actually know a lot of information about the police officer up to the extent where they know where the police officer stays at. After knowing where the police officer stays at, it can't be actually home always, and that was how they went. They went getting that thing. It affected the child, and he came home, saw the tragedy that the child was actually affected by his duties. Boom, the guy actually showed up to tell him that you actually doubted me. You felt I am not as big as I am and not as powerful as I am. Then I got to actually show you that yes, I am as powerful as I am. He became surprised. So the question is, is it advisable for him to actually continue it? That's one. Two, what are the necessary steps that you actually feel you should actually take, because right now the his colleagues don't stay with him. He faced the problem by himself, all by himself, that the duty actually brought to him. Should he now, leave the duties to actually, save himself from further tragedy, or he should actually continue doing his duties at the same time, look for everyone that seemed to be involved and take necessary steps on them, because I guess probably the wife actually left them as a result of him doing his duties. There are times that everybody just they don't just like the nature of whatever you're doing, and they seem to actually excuse themselves from everything they're saying to, be your life, because if you can't, you have to choose between uh, the friendship you have with them or the relationship you have with them, and the duties that you actually took as your own duties. So there are times that they put you in that dilemma to actually pick between your duties and them. And I guess he actually chose duties because he seems to actually be a police officer that find peace and joy in whatever he does. You know that doesn't actually excuse you from bringing people that don't actually like that. So the second side should actually she actually be coming out next week Friday, I guess, because I just want to see how he ends up handling the whole issue. I know so this stuff for who is a strong police officer, because you know they give him the strongest and the strongest of the strongest, you know, duties to actually do, because every cases that seem to not be completed by other people or unachieved by other people, they tend to actually put it in front to do it, and the field is having experience, expertise in such handling typical cases like that, and that's what they did for him. They brought it to him, strategize, you know, he went on. He's not scared of actually going back and forth with them anytime there's an unrest, and most of the time the unrest is actually unresolved because they tend to leave the scene without them being arrested, and it's a continued case. But if situations like that actually happens, there's possibility that informations actually get them from the inside of the police. You get, and most of the time when information gets to them from inside of the police, you just see like like um unfinished battle, because you just tend to not really know how they seem to always work towards your own strategies. And if people are working towards your own strategies, so just make it just seem like you did strategize enough, regardless of the years of listening I've actually spent. Get me? So let's see how it goes though. Really have to pick his duties, really have to actually forgo his duties and live a new life. And if you even live a new life, really actually change city, because staying in a city where you've been known for your duties, just puts you still in the same person, even off work, because the incident that actually happened was off work duty, off work incident rather. So thank you so much for actually staying tuned to this time. You know, I hope you enjoyed it the way I did, and let's actually take a stroll in my city as I go watch the concluding side of it though. Let's go.